As I explained before, you know, I'm a vessel, I'm a servant of God. And so, when you know, this problem or this issue, with the persecution on my legacy, it's not a matter of me saying, hey, I'm Dexter, or hey, I'm Elijah. Everybody worship me and praise me and all. Nah, that's not what's going on. What is happening is the Lord, like I said, I'm a servant, I'm a vessel. The Lord use, those who allow themselves to be used by him, by keeping his commandments and stuff, man. The Lord used me. He gave me this talent to glorify him. And so the Bible says we know God's character. God said he would share his praise with nobody, And that's the thing. So God wants to be praised for his creations, as he rightfully should. If he creates something, then he want to be praised for it because he created it. So that's the thing. That's the situation that's going on. No, it ain't like I'm saying this. I mean, the Lord's saying it. Dexter not saying everybody praise me. The Lord saying everybody praise me because this is a work that I am behind this. That's what the Lord's saying, that he is behind this. So it's of him. And so, you see the conflict there, with the persecution on my legacy because, the Lord is way far more glorious than anything like that. That was a pathetic attempt by the devil to take God's glory for himself. And that's, extremely offensive, on so many levels. And so, that was the situation. So I got antagonized, for trying to speak up for what's right. You know what I'm saying? And then they try to silence me, destroy and hide my legacy and everything that I worked so hard for all these years. And even though I was literally forced, to acknowledge adverse realities because of how I was being attacked by them, I didn't internalize it, but I talked about it with my talent because I was already talented before the persecution came. You feel me? My talent was already there. I was applying it and using it for, to glorify God anyway. Different reasons and different ways and ways that were not in existence, that for which I have plans for and had plans for. And so, over time, when I wasn't able to get any, I was actually being intentionally ignored. I wasn't able to get any, I was being intentionally ignored for that very purpose, to get me talking about this, all the pain and stuff, to generalize me as somebody who complains and to ultimately destroy my legacy by saying that it's for people that they placed up and stuff, when it's not, when really Elijah was way bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the heights for Elijah, You know what I'm saying? So it's a tremendous scam, whole sham and a conspiracy, and all I could do is talk about, in a nature conversation. Well, most of the time, the foliage that God created is green. That's the way God created it. Now, as far as, the slanders, defamation, quote unquote, the suggestion, psychological warfare, stratagem, implemented, on a mass of people in order to isolate one person. You know what I'm saying? That's what they'll do. So they suggest certain ideas that they think of out of their own minds to bring attention on things that they want to pay attention, that they personally want to pay attention to. You feel me? So that's what it is. They create this perspective in their minds, promote it to everybody, and in the hopes that it'll become normalized upon everybody, the masses. You feel me? And so that was the thing. So you had people in high positions that was doing that. They was like blatantly lying, and things like that. And because they, they had ulterior motives. I put it like that. But it's different motives. You got motives for the people, you know what I'm saying, the motives for Elijah, you know. And so, I mean, it's no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Come on, just think about it. You know, it's no coincidence that how Elijah being attacked, you know, and then, come on. So, I mean, yeah, it's persecution, biblical proportions. No lie about that. You know, there's no mistakes about that. What else can I say? I would speak more about the supernatural aspects of Elijah's life. You know, everybody already see it though. Every day consistently. Yeah, that was like that since 94. So you could do the math. You know, the signs, wonders, and you know, and for those that, you know, are interested in the paranormal or the supernatural, you know, to the depth of, you know, in a positive way, you know, as far as, you know, directly in the context of the Bible and, you know, with God. I mean, you know, the things of God, that kind of supernatural, the things of God, good. Yeah, man, they just say my family unit is complete. Yeah, man, and that's thinking positive, you know, in spite of all this pain that, you know, and all this stuff I'm, you know, going on all the time. What else to touch on? I mean, what people really want to know, what they want to hear. As far as, my platforms. Y'all recently posted, man, my platforms under attack. I've been saying this for like, how long? 3-4 years already. You know, yeah, man, it's people, places, and things that want to own, you feel me, like a slave, like control, you know, to ultimately destroy me so other people can replace me. And that tells you that's what the Antichrist go do. And that's those who follow the beast, you know, the beast, Satan, the dragon, and the anti-God, you know, they all are, they got the same mind, you know, the same brain, the same kind of mindset, you know, for a common goal. And they want to replace the Lord. I mean, anybody can just put 2 and 2 together. I mean, anybody can put 2 and 2 together, you know. Well, yeah, man, anybody who of God or anybody who is with the Lord, because, you know, all the miracles and things that happen that people see, you know, far and wide every day. Miracles, these are miracles of God, you know, nothing to do with darkness, regardless of how that conflicts with somebody else's ideologies or whatever. That matters not at all. Reality and facts is grass green. That's all that matters. You know, so when they see the miracles and things, you know 100% that whatever you're seeing in proximity to Elijah or Dexter right here, then you know God is behind it 100%. And so, I mean, that's that argument is debunked. New material. Yeah, man, new material is never out of the, you know, question for me. As people see, they notice, I know it's very, very evident. It's a difference in my life, you know, right now at this time, because I told people why. You know, it was a premeditated counseling of me. And now we're at the height of it. You know what I'm saying? It was a premeditated counseling of me. And, you know, and a big part of what played into that, you could tell that like the last 5 years, you know, even of my own life, for the last 5 to 6 years, this attack that I've been under, it was pretty much everybody knew it was a premeditated counseling, you know, and these circumstances were brought, you know, organized, you know, to ultimately lead to a certain result. And that's with me being erased from history, you know. I haven't been able to, like, I mean, everybody know I make poetry, you know. I would like just at random times, or just what I'm going through, or just give God glory, just, there's various reasons why I write, but I've gravitated more to, like my micro poetry now, because I foresaw, a future point in time where, if things got like this, this bad, whereas, it's easier for me, to display my skill, my natural literary abilities, on the fly, and so I haven't really scripted a major poem, this year really, and it's basically mainly because the persecution that's been on my life, I've been talking about all these years, is taking a different form. You feel me? Like, and it's actually increasing in spite of like global knowledge of it. So that tells you the desperation of the devil and how, desperate they are to replace the Lord. They're desperately trying to replace God, with these beasts and all these, false entities and false influences and, false legends, all that, So, that's so I'm speaking more, like you seeing like more of my poetic micro poetry corner. That's, everybody know about that. That's what I created, for this purpose. You know what I'm saying? That anything that, all the persecution that came on my legacy later was already explained, ahead of time, with proof, foolproof, infallible, facts about, just circumstantially, you could, come on, it don't really take a rocket scientist to, put the pieces together and see how they trying to, like, there's certain people, places and things they're trying to, like, counsel and replace the Lord. And, they're so desperate, they're willing to permanently renounce God for the entire, society forever, just to be able to do this on this one man right here. You know what I'm saying? That's telling you that the persecutors that's involved in this are not reasonable. You feel me? They cannot be reasoned with. Their minds, they've invested so much into a lie, or falsehoods that they're going to stick with it all the way to hell. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no change in their minds. So it's like depravity. It's in the Bible. And so, and some people already did so much evil stuff to God that it don't matter if they change their mind or anything. It's some people that God just will not forgive. Some people, don't matter what they do or say, they're going, they got a portion waiting on them in the afterlife, everlasting portion. So, it don't matter if they change. God don't care. God go see them the same as it was when they was at their prime. And God go address them like that, And it's actually a couple people like that, that God don't even care if they change. I can't do nothing but be honest. I had the spirit of truth in me, of God. So, so I try to debunk these, anything that's deceiving the people. I try to address that, especially about my life, about, what I stand for, which is the light of God, and about, what my purpose was in this earth. It wasn't combative, but that's the thing. So I ain't lying on the structures have been like literally on a witch hunt for a Christian, a chosen Christian baby, for years, decades, and it was a premeditated counseling because events transpired to equal a result of where I be desolate and I can't display my skill or maintain no platform on purpose. You feel me? So, none of it is coincidence how all these things lining up like this. I've been getting stalked by structures, like killing stalking, and everything that I do and don't do, events and stuff was organized around that. So it's a heavy, tremendous thing. And now it's like I guess we just all unanimously coming to decisions that, I guess certain people, places, and things been doing this. As people know, this wasn't obvious. This wasn't always obvious, but nonetheless, my sight's still on God. My faith still in God. My focus still on the Lord and the light. I got an eternal portion that's heavy, that's better than anything, that I could have had in the earth anyway. So, I mean, that's the thing, though, so these influences, though, I mean, they don't stop, though, I've said about Eli, that's another reason, why it's such a rush to replace and counsel Elijah, or counsel, a work of God, because, the things, the evils that were being committed against my life are irreparable. You feel me? The evils that's happened to my life are irreparable, irreversible. You feel me? They can't be fixed. And so when people realize that, and then they realize that, oh, this truly was Eli, or it truly is Eli, then it's like for them, they don't know, they don't really, they know, I mean, they did this against God, and they accepted people that was against God as God. So it's like, that's a permanent thing, some people just got, deceived. God is merciful. He knows who, He ain't gonna condemn them. But that's another reason why I'm being counseled, because some people just don't know. They know, I mean, they know they can't fix what happened. So it's like, well, forget it. Unfortunately, though, that's the Lord. They saying that too. So it ain't no way come back from that, So just trying to think what else people want to know, man, like, or what else is obscuring the light of God. Exile. Yeah, the exile thing still been going on. That's a part of this, what I already been talking about. See, it all connects. I've been getting driven into exile, way back, for a while now, since I first became able, or, I got God gave me the understanding to tell you why I can build a godly platform to progress my godly ministry and my godly legacy. From that point, when whoever saw that and saw me, being able to position myself to be able to further the work of God, then ever since I've been getting bombarded with exile. It's been years. Every single residency I ever got, on my own, and there's only really one because of what I'm going through, I never really had a chance to gain any stability. I've been getting void nonstop all year, every year. But whenever I do have any kind of residency, it's like sabotage, climate control, hijacking, I've been threatened. These things are like branded. You feel me? In my, so much has transpired in this seemingly short amount of time that it's unreal. So much. I've seen like all out war on me, And that's another thing I wanted fans and supporters to understand, like from the perspective which the things that I'm speaking from, because, this whole time for the last 8 years of my life, I already been in war, I wasn't warring according to, the things of the flesh, I was warring and fighting back with prayers, with the Bible, with my talent, when I mixed with the Bible, with just, doing things that the Bible say. So I'm getting attacked with spear, sword, javelin, arrows, darts, 24/7, 365. But my only hope was God, for one. And the only thing I did about it was bring awareness to it. And also, share Bible verses about it, the type of things that's happening. And also made recordings like these and wrote poetry about it. because I was forced to. Man, it's so extreme, the evils that's happening. I mean, extreme casual cruelty, to the point where you just you accept it, as it's trivialized, and that's the strangest thing. Like, it's trivialized to a lesser extent, but my reality is, this hate without a cause I've been getting for so long is, there's really no words, that ain't already said. I could just say that, the Old Testament, looking at the book of Psalms and, the Proverbs and, just all the old school or the older texts as well as the New Testament, it's true. I've seen it. I've seen the things that David talked about, King David talked about. I've seen the conspiracies, I've seen the attacks and all of this stuff. I've watched all this myself. I lived it. I've seen all these things happen, like, straight out the Bible, like, not just once, twice, but consistently, like, week after week after week after week, without cause, and, for months and years at a time. Everything that it's talking about in the Psalms, I saw that. You know what I mean? This is why I believe it. Because I walk with God. And I'm telling you, man, trying to think what else. You want the truth to be known, the truth to be just as far and accepted as falsehoods were, and the slanders, defamation were. People, apparently I had defamation and things uttered against my life and legacy, my character, my integrity, everything that I stood for. But yet, for some reason, my replies to that all went ignored. Because I promise you, as soon as Ellie became aware of some falsehood, I was on the scene, with nothing but truth, clarifying whatever. And when the devil started getting whooped, then that's when they tried to flip the script and lie on me. And that's the thing, like, everything that they do, they accuse the person they did it to of that. I learned that that's their main strategy of these people, man. Like, I've seen it happen so many times that's what I associate with them. I haven't thought of a name yet, because normally everybody know if they've been following me through the years. Normally I name these strategies, I rename them. I don't know what they be called, but I call it just tactics of the devil. Strategies from hell, pits of hell, the things they doing against an innocent person, that's doing the work of God, and they know it. So it got to be from the devil, and it's various strategies. I've probably exposed hundreds of them through the years, devil strategies. It's only now people put faces with this stuff, but it wasn't the case back then. I was in the straight forest with, metaphorically, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have any reference. Like, it just was just like trench warfare, So Ellen, didn't use carnal weapons, so it's totally unfair, totally. And so they accuse the person that they do something to of doing that thing to others or of doing that thing to them. So they lie, even if the person don't even know. So you're a victim, but they try to villainize you because of whatever they did is so disgraceful. They don't want other people to see them in that light. So that was the situation. You feel me? That's the normal situation, actually. And I can't. Almost every slander or defamation that was placed against me, that was how it went down. That was the way it went down. People were accusing the Lord. They accusing the Lord of things that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, just laughable, and God just looked and he like, I mean, if people really go, God look at people really go just follow this, like false doctrine and stuff, and they go through it, they be like, well, if they don't follow it, then we're in the game, so yeah, we gonna make them follow it. You know how that junk go. And so, I mean, but it's the invincible coats, man. That's what we guys, those are the ones that's gonna have they gonna have the luxury of personally fighting God. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the, future where Eli gone and everything, way off in the future, like could be the distant future. But whenever we're at the end of the age, but God sees one day the same as 1,000 years. You see, God's sense of time is different than our sense of time. You feel me? God see the one day the same as 1,000 years. So when he says this is the end of the age, it might not be today, or tomorrow. Whenever the age goes, it might not be in, 10 years. But time running out, the Lord coming back to get all the saints, put them in heaven. And then that's when God go finally face off, like one-on-one against all these cults. For example, the people who gave me this torture, and things, the people like that who did this to an innocent child, not just any child, but Elijah. So is yeah, man. So yeah, those are the ones they gonna have that final showdown with God. Like God ain't gonna take no mercy, because look, they didn't take no mercy, unprovoked. Feel me? It was all unprovoked. That's the part. Like that's the weird thing, So it's been rough like that for a while, But yeah, you see it all in the Bible. This hate without a cause, man. What else they want to? But yeah, that's how they do it. They have, when I'm talking about that, how they normalize taboos and all types of stuff, that they themselves wish to explore. They normalize it, in everybody else, because they're trying to use that distraction so they can secretly behind the scenes, practice or indulge themselves into the things that they promote to others or pretend put on the facade, to oppose so boldly. You see, those are the ones you got to watch like that, Okay, what else? Trying to think. Yeah, man, help me protect my platform, man. Y'all know they under attack like that, people trying to hide the truth. It's in the Bible, man. You see it in Revelation 12, probably, the last verse there, for example, in real time, in progress, as we speak, So, the remnants, the attack of the remnant is in effect, and it's been in effect for actually a long time. It's been in progress for a while now, but they got added help from various types of entities and things that Eli don't have access to. You feel me? Like, Eli don't have the same resources that they got, you feel me, that they've been using against me. Never had the same resources. So you see how it is. I try to, protect my legacy for those that love what's right. But you see how it's being slowly disinvented anyway, little by little. Then in that, you feel me, you could tell by that when you think about it, it really might show up the bigger picture of the situation. Because if I'm fighting this hard to keep a land holy, and to glorify God in a place that claim to be under God, and it's a battle that I'm losing for doing God's will in a place under God, then that tells you about what's really happening in the age. And it confirms the scripture that these are the end of the age. You say, evil shall wax worse and worse, and men shall be deceived, and being deceived, it's going to increase, and you see it. You know what I mean? And so, we also have to think about this other situation, as far as the attack on my body of work and my, the larceny of my art. You got to understand that, when people do things like that, it's permanent. You feel me? So, I wasn't okay with it before it happened. 3 years before, even when my stuff was assimilated any last year, 3 years before that, I had already informed about awareness to the situation of the structures. So, I displayed that I wasn't cool with that. You feel me? But on the structure's reaction or response was informally and arbitrarily like watching me, but simultaneous to that, almost endless attempted murders, like almost every day. You feel me? Wild. You feel me? And this was happening all last year too. So it's like I'm being extorted, like forced to accept what somebody's doing. And I'm not that kind of person, especially when I'm doing as a work of God and they trying to give it to the devil. And I'm not cool with that. They trying to like permanently link me with people who I would never associate with, ever. You feel me? I would never associate with. And the structures still have, they have yet to act over something that they were already, before it happened, they was already notified about possibilities. The harassment. And I don't respect those influences that, because I see what they were trying to do. The structures are using them to get rid of Eli on the low. So, for as long as, that remains reality, and any aspect of my, brand or entity, has been assimilated, and assimilation is when people, what I mean by it is when people have actually made money, off of something, that was, that got to do with me without my permission, I never made money off anything, not even my own stuff, ever. You feel me? So, that's a difference. And so, I'm not cool with that, So as long as that's a reality, I got the same immunity that person got that did it and still, have yet to be, addressed about it. You feel me? That's the situation, especially after being testified against years ago already, before even of the worst things that could have happened later. You feel me? It was already testified against back then. So there's no way that it should have been possible, if nobody's above the law. You feel me? For any later things that transpired to have transpired. So, I'm not backing out, at all. This is dead wrong. And I don't care how far I got to go. Suits of justice. Yeah, man, this situation is not your average situation. You feel me? It's not like no type of beef, quote unquote. This is far larger than something like a beef or, just like a trivial, casual conflict or something with people. Nah, this is a long thought out, premeditated hunting and murder of a person from birth to death. You know what I'm saying? This is not that kind of situation. So that's why I use terms that, might not be friendly with everybody, like pursuit of justice and things like, because I'm a regular person. I've been a civilian all these years. You feel me? And this being happened to me, I'm being warred upon according to a reality that I did not embrace. You feel me? In spite of them knowing that I did not embrace it. You feel me? So that's been the situation. I've been following God and spreading the gospel, all over America. You know what I'm saying? Or far and wide the world. In my early years, I had, like my talent took off before the devil, tried to gatekeep me from success. However, but yeah, man, this is a strategic. Words can't describe it. It's not a simple situation, and I don't know if people really want to accept what really happened. Or what's going on. These actions of certain people, constitute war. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's no way. It's hard to look around it. If they are not, because if justice is not coming to those individuals, then it's a war situation. But Eli is not afraid to, to acknowledge that, that's the reality. It wasn't Eli's fault with what covetous, jealous people did. It wasn't the supporters of Christians or saints, that follow God, fought what these evil, demon-possessed entities and influences did to Elijah. You feel me? Hence, they did it to God. So, that's the situation. People, anybody who care about what's right, should not be okay with what's happened. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. They shouldn't be okay, with something of this gravity and magnitude. And I mean, as long as that's the situation, that's the case, which, they did it to be permanent. So permanently, I'm going to always be against them. You know what I'm saying? Because they did something that was reported before they could have did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they allowed something to happen that they chiseled in stone, regardless of how I felt about it, without my permission. You feel me? For example, after being informed ahead of time. So as long as that's the case of the situation, and then I'm inclined. I'm on the side of God. The things that I do, the empire I was building was for God. What they did was to throttle, to hinder, and gatekeep that. And so they hindered the purposes of God, which is far above their lifespan. You feel me? It's larger than one person. What they've stopped and interfered with. It could have brought a world of goodness, and they don't really know the gravity of what they really, did to God purposes. It's not about Eli. It's not about Dexter. It's about the Lord, And so I'm permanently at odds with those. And I don't have a problem because I dislike the fact that, they're possessed by demons anyway. So, because I'm of God. So, I mean, it's just they have resources I don't have access to. Feel me? I don't, so they're attacking me unfairly. But now by me bringing global and national attention to it, I would expect, what I'm saying, for that situation. So, I mean, and then they're attributing it, to certain people. And I'm thinking like, well, I mean, these influences, they don't have that much relevance or significance to me. The only people or thing or person with that type of significance to me in my life is the Lord, or God. So it's like, I mean, if I'm telling you that I'm a regular person and I'm a civilian, and and I'm being attacked with things above my financial bracket and also above my social class, I can't defend myself against it 3-4 years ago already, and it's ever since. Then, I mean, what good is telling me, throwing these people in my face? Like, again, I said I'm a regular person. You feel me? A civilian. What do you expect me to do about it in a civil society? You know what I'm saying? So I'm informally, what's the point, They don't acknowledge the law. None of that. Or this would have never happened. And so they turned off the law actually for like 5 years, last 5 years on purpose. That was premeditated too. You feel me? They turned off the law, and they turned off the law for the life of Elijah. Literally. I'm talking about purge movie, horror film type stuff on my life specifically, all year, every year. So it's very evident that I was directly being targeted. Without a cause, did not know what reason that was for though. They turned off the law for the last 5 years, and then they turned on the law. They turned the law back on, so it catch me. You feel me? In the statutes, and then they can just shave me off just like butter. You feel me? It's a premeditated counseling. You feel me? Because they knew what was happening to me. I would have to talk about it. Because they knew they was doing it to God. Then God would want, because they know God's character. He want justice. So and again, I'm an artist, you see? I'm an artist. You feel me? So my main intention was never talking about what's happening to me. But rather, I was forced by lack of action, you feel me, of, people, places, and things into addressing this stuff, trying to bring awareness to it out of desperation. And my only hope, that the only thing I had was my talent. So it's impossible to survive. You feel me? Like, this was a premeditated canceling of an innocent and natural creator, and the author, to allow others to replace the Lord. It's just reality, man. I speak from experience, what I saw with my own eyes. I didn't want it to be like that, but that's how they did it. What else could be deceiving the people right now? Y'all can check out these recordings, man. I got tons of good stuff, good quality content, man. Made a way it can be downloaded. And I'm always, trying to expand my platforms, as I should be able to. But this is a situation that's not my fault. And I proved it earlier, years ago. And it just continued to compound anyway. And then now they throwing up these people's faces like, the structures, we already knew about them years ago. So why are they telling me this now? You feel me? Knowing I'm a regular person. You feel me? Is there anybody, you feel me, that exists, that care about what's right and have the power, to fight the devil? See, it's not making much sense. And so Ellie could never vibe. This is a situation that's, man. Man, it's a lot has transpired. And I can just say I'm always in a state of the disbelief, shock, thinking like, man, this really happened to me. This is stuff that, you would believe, that you would think would be movies all along. Like, man, my life was really the most interesting thing. It was weird like that. That's how it was, though. I just, I learned to, I ain't let it change who I am as a person. I still remain that person under God, in spite of what I was going through all these years. And all glory be to God for it.